Near Post fam, Silbs here. Jumping into a new segment that we're going to call Getting in the Lab, where we watch some film together, break it down from a more schematic standpoint, and just talk a little bit more about the intricacies that's going on out there on the between the lines. First one I want to talk about is man down defense. I've certainly been screaming from the rooftops about how good I think the Q's extra man unit is. Uh, but in reality, there's great units all over the country, and it's interesting to see how some defensive coordinators are trying to combat it. And the theme that I really want to dive into is how is a defense attempting to cover up the crease action? Okay, crease action obviously being a high danger scoring area, arguably the highest danger scoring area, especially on extra man. What are defenses doing to try to take that away? And you're going to hear me use the term hedge their bets, hedge their bets to give up shots that their goalie has a chance to see, and that their goalie has a higher chance of getting a stop on. And in my opinion, it's certainly not the crease look. Admittedly, coached defense at the Division I level for 4 years, career unit over those 4 years, the man down unit was 70% over the 4 years combined. So I certainly have some biases towards some things, but we can certainly break it down a little bit more here and take a peek. So from the jump, all right, we're going to look at UVA's extra man unit here versus Colgate last weekend. All right. What Colgate's playing is what we call a 5-man. Okay. 5-man means they've got 5 dudes on the perimeter with 2 of them at all times potentially having responsibility for the crease guy. So you can see 40 right here. He's got ball responsibility. Okay, 15 to his left has got 1 pass away, so he's got a 1 responsibility. Same thing with our guy down here on the pipe. He's 1 pass away. He's got man responsibility. All right. But what both of these guys both have are skip lane responsibilities to the backside. And why do they have that? Because the 2 dudes who are 2 passes away, they've got crease responsibility. And realistically, they should share it. Okay, they should share it. If the crease is low, then the low guy should cover him up. If the crease is high, the high guy should be responsible for him. And because of that, they're giving up skips to their 2 dudes that they're responsible for on the edge. Because if you look, all 5 guys are matched up with the 5 of UVA's around the perimeter. But if these 2 dudes have crease responsibilities, we've got to do something defensively to cover up those skip lanes. And realistically, adjacent passes don't hurt us on extra man. So let's get in to a skip lane, all right, as we're 1 pass away, because then we can just go approach, covering our tails for these 2s to be able to help in a little bit heavier to the crease, covering up the most dangerous areas. All right, so as UVA gets this ball spinning, you'll see responsibilities change. Now we got a ball responsibility. We're 1 pass away. Now we're 1 pass away. Now we're 2 passes away. And now we've got responsibilities to the crease. So every time the ball moves, responsibilities change. Pretty simple. Pretty simple concept. Much harder to execute at a high level because no one's really responsible for the crease guy, but 2 dudes are really responsible for him at the same time. Now where it gets hard is when ball moves fast, responsibilities change fast, and now we got Truett Sunderland naked on the inside. They throw it in. Now I will say, Colgate guy on the short stick here, he's even more at a disadvantage because he's only got 3 feet versus 6. But he does a good job getting up in there, as does the point man, being 1 pass away in this skip lane, being able to help the high crease. All right, all kind of sharing responsibilities. They collapse, shot wide. All right, they get back into it again. 5-man, nice and compact. Ball responsibilities, 1 responsibilities, 2 responsibilities. Okay, things looking good. Uh-oh. Ball moved fast, right? Ball moved fast. Technically, my dude here has got to be able to get up and in, but that's a lot of ground to cover because my guy's got to go play it. My guy's now becoming 1 pass away. All right, we got high crease, so maybe this guy's got to get in even more. But even a good 2, you're going to be on the back shoulder of this crease guy, and at this high level, dudes are going to can this. Bang. Too easy. Now, I will say, okay, extra man's fun because you got an extra dude, but UVA does a great job of overloading this side, forcing those 2s to have to cover a ton of ground to get into position. Okay, a ton of ground to get into position. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about this, but if he were to come all the way in and collapse on this, skip passes naked, and nobody is within, 5, 6, 7 yards of Griffin Schutz for a step down, or he can even walk in. But it's a thought process to play the 5-man against the extra man unit, especially against the 3-3, because there's 5 guys on the perimeter and you want to be able to cover them up. But there are certainly some disadvantages because I think that's a high danger scoring area. Take a peek here. We got Stony Brook and Rutgers. All right, Stony Brook's on the extra man. Rutgers playing a 5-man, but it's a lot more stagnant, where Colgate was rotating around and moving with the shape of the UVA extra man. You got Rutgers here in sort of a 2-3, zone it up, try to hold our spots, right? While still having similar principles. If you're 2 passes away, you got crease responsibilities. All right. Now, where it gets crazy here, and the Stony Brook kid makes a good play, but 17 has got ball responsibilities, right? You got 2 guys to his right and left have 1 responsibilities, 1 pass away, so they're responsible for the adjacent pass as well as the skip lanes to the pipes, okay? And then the 2 guys on the pipes technically have responsibility for this crease. That's a long way for those pipe guys to come 10 yards off of GLE to come and cover that up. 17's doing everything he can with his stick to the inside, but that allows this Stony Brook guy hands-free to survey without anything in his gut or in his hands to even think about. So he's able to put a great pass right on the high crease, and they can it. Now, yes, this is a crazy shot. Is this a shot that a coach would want to give up? For sure, right? For sure. 10 yards, just between 9 and 10 yards, no look, over the back, can it? But the scheme and the schematics still fit here, because who's responsible for that, dude? These 2 pipe guys, and they try to converge, but they're just late because the spacing of the high crease picks on the responsibilities of the 2. That's so far for them to cover, and they can it. Now, one adjustment defensively that we could make, 17 can put some ball pressure on. Yes, it's going to open up a little bit more space for this crease guy, but I'll tell you this, and I've heard it 17 different times, ball pressure can always cover up defensive lapses behind it. If you got ball pressure, it's really hard for that ball carrier to put the ball where he wants to go unless they're absolutely elite of the elite. But ball pressure can cover this up. But here, 17 gets caught in the middle. He's not covering the crease guy, and he's not covering the ball carrier. And they make a play. Next one here, you got the Tar Heels against the team from up north. Team from up north in a 5-man, similar to Stony Brook trying to hold their spots. Really soft on Owen Duffy at the point. Okay, all 5 guys on the Wolverines perimeter responsible for the 5 Tar Heels on the perimeter, while everyone's sharing crease responsibility depending on where the ball is. 1s and 2s, C11 there. He's actually 1 pass away, but because of their holding spots, he's able to sort of do 2 things at once. And technically, if this guy came all the way down, that'd be a problem. Or if this dude came all the way down, that'd be a problem. So sharing some responsibilities, good. But here we are. Again, no ball pressure, and at about 14 or 15 yards with his feet. So now we've opened up space for this crease guy to react, get open, put it on his ear. He looks in. Now, as we look in, good play by the Michigan Wolverine pipe guy. He's a 2 passes away, collapses on him. But an even better play by the crease guy, because he had time and space, look in, and this is the wall pass I've been talking about. Wall passes are deadly, almost as deadly, if not more deadly, than a skip pass to a man down unit. He throws it out. Now we've got him dead to rights. because now he's responsible for this. We throw the one more, and we all know what Dominic Petramala does from this spot. Buckets. So again, if we break it down, because they don't have somebody responsible for the crease, two's got to collapse, and now the next guy in the rotation, Gonzo. Keep it here right in this game. Now what we've got, Michigan's like, all right, point guy, don't be so high. Okay? Don't be so high playing Owen Duffy top center. All right? We got to cover up this high crease with you. We got to have dual responsibilities here to protect the twos from the pipes. Now, I will say, Michigan's defensemen, great job with their sticks up in lanes. All the long pulls. Short stick, kind of not doing so much. Long pulls doing a great job with their sticks in the lanes, all right, finding where those passing lanes could be, especially the ones. Guys that are one pass away, got to get in those skip lanes. Okay, again, good job sticking the lane to the skip. All right, good job by the pipe guy coming up and in. Short stick kind of out to lunch right here, to be honest with you. He's realistically just responsible. He shouldn't be, but he is, just showing responsibility for this lefty shooter, okay, which is interesting. Now, okay, we're tighter on the crease guy. We got a 2 up and in. Owen Duffy's got it, but now Owen Duffy's at 16 yards, and because no ball pressure, we've got twos that are worried about the crease action that just happened. We open up a skip lane. Plus, this short stick doesn't do a great job as being one pass away to get in that lane, and we all know what Dominic Petramala does when he catches it in this spot. Buckets. So those are two kind of, or I guess three kind of your more classic 5-man actions. All right, one with more rotation driven and sort of shape driven by the offense, and then one that, or the two, Rutgers and Michigan there, that are more sort of let's hold our spots to the best of our ability and know what our responsibilities are based on where the ball is. Now you got Loyola versus the Terps here. Okay, Loyola runs an action that's kind of interesting. I always called it kind of like a W. All right, so it'd be a 3-2. So it starts 3 defenders on the bottom, 2 defenders up top. But then when the ball moves, the parts of the zone move. So as this ball goes here, you get the pipe guy who's here now coming off the pipe to cover the crease. You get the crease guy coming off the crease to cover the ball side pipe. And you get the ball side pipe guy to come up and cover the wing, while the other guy top in the 2 has to come down the back. You see 4 here trying to get down the back. All right, so good. We're covered up. We got crease action covered by 29 or 28. We got some help from the top part too. And then as the ball comes this way, here comes our guy coming off the pipe. Here comes the guy who was covering the crease to the ball side pipe. And then we got the guy who went out to cover the ball side pipe before. As the ball swings, he comes up and in to cover the crease. Where then the backside wing comes down. All right. Now Maryland continues to move the ball really well. So this action has to continue to happen. So you're watching these 2, 3, 4 dudes work their tails off to cover their responsibilities. And it's a lot. Like, see this guy on the backside pipe. If I run this back, he's running like 10-yard sprints up and back, up and back. They get a little jumbled up here. All right, they get a little jumbled up if you're watching the D, but Maryland, one, diabolical to throw a skip pass from outside the box, okay? But this defender here does a great job because he came up the wing, ball was swinging, now he's got to do it. He's got to do his job to get down the back, all right? And he does actually a great job. Sorry, fast forwarded here. Actually, let's let it play. Kind of see that action in free flow here. He tries to put some ball pressure on, which takes him a little bit out of position, which is what this point guy saw. All right. But in reality, 29 does a great job getting down the back as he throws this skip. But if we're looking at it, this crease guy is absolutely naked. Like a grilled chicken breast on a sandwich, right? I think if this dude's watching film, and I'm sure whoever's coaching the offense for the Terps He's going to let him know about it in the film room. Like, he wants this one back because the skip pass doesn't get there. One, because it's arguably a 20-yard skip pass. But two, this crease guy is in a dangerous scoring area and wide open. All right, 29, great job getting back in, hustling his tail off, knocks down the pass. But again, the crease was open, just made the wrong look. Air Force here. So what we're going to see from Air Force here, Denver, Pios, in a two-crease look. Kind of like an offset 2-2. Same thing, they'd start in this four-man if it was against a 1-4. All right, and if you're going to go, no matter what type of man-down defense that you're in, I was always taught, and I'm a firm believer in matching the shape from the end line forward. So if you're in a five-man and they've got two dudes behind the goal, you should always plant two dudes here and then continue the shape around. You don't want to give up the 2-on-1 closer to the goal. Same thing in the four-man. They come out in a 2-2-2. You're going to be in a box +1 because you're matching the offense's shape from GLE. Okay. Now with the two crease, you're always going to put a guy in there. No reason to have five guys on the perimeter of a man down unit when the offense only has four. Okay. So Air Force starts in this four-man, which, here's my bias, I'm a huge believer of. And the reason I'm a huge believer of it is because we're taking away the most dangerous area on the field, okay, and letting the four guys on the perimeter just rotate their tails off. They know they don't have crease responsibility, so they're just all on a string together. All right, and this is a great example because, all right, Air Force, they roll off, or excuse me, Denver rolls off a guy, Air Force crease guy leaves him, and he comes back in, cover the crease guy. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders that are worried about the 5 offensive Pios around the edge. They don't have crease responsibility. They're just moving with each other. This dude rotates across, this guy rotates down, this dude's coming over the top. No crease responsibilities. They don't have to think about the crease action. All right, they just have to worry about rotating with each other. Okay, but then this is where it gets out of whack. Crease guy comes in to cover Manning. Short stick gets antsy. He doesn't stick to the game plan, it seems like. 41 actually doesn't do a great job getting over either. All right, so short stick gets antsy. He's like, shoot, nobody's playing the lefty. Malowski, he's pretty damn good. We should probably go cover him. He goes and covers him, but now these guys on the perimeter aren't prepared to cover the crease. You can see 20 takes 2 steps ready to follow 41 as he goes and plays it. But because they left the crease, Manning just follows it. And now if we think about it, yeah, technically they're in a quote-unquote 5-man, so he's 2 passes away. He's got to be there to fill. They don't get there in time. Buckets. They were covered up until they spit themselves off the crease out of the 4-man. And you can see 21 ain't happy with the guy going to cover the ball. Guy going to cover the ball is like, yo, we got to cover the freaking lefty. He's the best goal scorer on the team. And to be honest with you, right here, this is where it is. You can see the point. He's like, no, that's his rotation. You cover the crease, we'll rotate around you. Towson Cuse here. Okay, same thing. Towson starting in a 4-man. You can see the short stick. Guys on the perimeter have no responsibility for the inside. They're not even thinking about it. They're just following each other. One piece here that you can see their shape. They're matched up from the goal line coming forward. All right, they roll a crease guy off. Short stick stays in and waits for another crease guy to cut because they're going to bring somebody. All right, they get there. They're covered up. Now we got a 2 crease. Okay, fine. We're still covered up on the crease. We're 4v4 on the edge. No problem. Peel off again. No problem. Let's cover the crease. Cover the most dangerous area of the field. We'll figure out the rotations everywhere else. So now here we come. Okay, here we come. And then Finn Thompson gets a little fancy. We're rotating. Bang, we're ready to go. To be honest with you, I think this dude should start to come, and it looks like this guy's getting down the back. But Towson looks like they're spitting out for some reason. So, defender actually reads it, and he's like, shoot, Owen Hiltz can score the rock. We should probably cover his tail. He does. They get in, and they survive it. Again, here comes that spit-off action. All right, that spit-off action. Burt Witzel could can this. Sure, they get going. And this is going to be more of that Loyola action where it's like, okay, if we have to spit off, Pipes coming up to cover the crease and backside guys getting down the back, Burt Witzel doesn't find the cage. But okay, at least we got better crease coverage, right? Better crease coverage than the 5-man. All right, we're back into our 4-man. We're rotating around. All 4 guys on the edge rotating around. And again, they run the spit off. So this is clearly a scheme for Towson. Birtwistle literally shoots from below GLE. Diabolical. All right, it's working. Birtwistle got a reset from shooting below GLE. Here we come again. We spit off, even though 4-mans, we've been okay with the 4-man, but hey, we survive it. All right, great. So that W action works. Awesome. Back to this Terp Loyola game, because this is where the W action can get you killed. All right. As this W action starts to go, okay, we're in the 3-2. We come up off the pipe. We come off the crease. We come up off the pipe. This guy should be down the back because this dude's absolutely naked right now. All right, we should be down the back. Doesn't hurt him there. And again, the action. Come off the crease. Come up from the pipe. 45 doing a great job. He was guarding Danny Kelly right here. He gets down the back. So we're covered up again. Great. Skip pass kills us. 17 lets this one through. All right. I'm sure he didn't mean to, but we can't let those through because if a wall pass to the crease and out is harmful, skip passes might be arguably more harmful. But as the skip pass gets through, our responsibilities don't change, right? We're down the back here. We're responsible for the crease here. We have to come up off the pipe. We have to leave the crease. And then we've got this dude on the backside sprinting to get to this crease. All right. We are getting some help from this top guy right here as he squeezes what space the crease guy has to work in. All right. But still a bit of a scramble. 4, again, late getting down the back. I'm sure the Terps watch this on film. But hey, we did enough to cover it up. But look what happens. We get another skip through 17. And this is what's killer on the skip pass on this one. Because of all the 10-yard sprints that these backside guys have to run, 4's later than normal on the skip pass because it takes less time to get there. So he's going to sprint out at Spanos, who's a quote-unquote shooter. All right. But because he's out of control, Spanos can catch this thing, pump fake, and I'm right by you. Can it? And again, this is why I'm a huge believer in the 4-man, because we can cover the crease, allow the 4 guys on the perimeter of our defense to simply just work off of each other and only have to spit off the crease when absolutely necessary, pull the shoot emergency type of stuff. That's getting in the lab with nothing near post. Appreciate y'all listening. We'll keep this thing going, but sound off in the comments. Let me know what you think.